Yeah, instrumental, sorry. Carry on. Everything has a dry brain. Go on. Hello,
Hello.
Anybody down there or down there?
Did you see part one?
Child, my eyes.
So y'all saw part one where the living conditions were horrible and like it was just a mess. It was just a total mess. So, right? So in part two, I'm just gonna go through like more stuff. And I might show more pictures if I have them to let you see exactly what was really going on
No more blues.
in this apartment, okay? So, oh, by the way, I call him Vic because I don't want to use his real name.
I see you pick up the marker or something.
So his name is Vic. So let me tell y'all about Vic. So I know someone asked me, someone said, well, didn't you see the place before you moved in? Like, didn't you see the signs that it was dirty and blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no, no. Because, you know, he did like a viewing cleaning, like he cleaned it a little bit to make it, you know, presentable for viewing. But that's why I didn't really see like the kind of person he was, because he kind of cleaned it a little bit.
Oh, he's
So
one of those.
he's one of those people. So another thing about Vic, he outrightly refused to work. He did not want to work. He got two jobs while I was there. Both were at grocery stores, and he got fired from both jobs. He got fired because he didn't want to wear a hat.
Wow.
He just didn't want to work. He wanted to be on welfare like for the rest of his life. He tried to get on disability 4 times and was denied
Disability for what?
because he says he's depressed because his ex-girlfriend accused him of rape, and he didn't rape her. According to him, she allegedly said that he raped her, but he didn't rape her.
Isn't he Jewish?
He's Jewish, so he lost his job, he went to jail, all kinds of stuff. He lost his friends, so he was depressed. So, yeah, that's why he wanted to be on disability. He said that's why he didn't take showers.
Manichwa.
I mean, it's an actual disease, but I just don't believe he was depressed. I think he was just nasty.
Yes, he was nasty. There's nothing you could say that to me that be nasty. Not good shit.
It's no reason to be that nasty. Period.
God.
He kept like saying he wanted to have game nights, like he wanted to be friends.
Where,
He
outside?
wanted clearly
In the
he
snow?
wanted us to sit at the dining room table and have like game nights and meet his friends. And I was like, the same dining room table where you put the dog poop? Like, are you serious?
And you're dirty
So
tampon?
first of all, that never happened because I don't play those kind of games. Then there was one time when he broke into my room and stole Temperley. Call the police. I was not home. Came home to find out that he went into my room because my room door was closed.
The cleanest thing in there. Long.
The cleanest thing in there. He went in there. He took his non-showering, depressed ass in my room and took my Temperley outside. The same Temperley that he called stupid.
May you rest in peace. Despicable.
I found out that Vic was a racist. He was like a low-key racist. There were some neighbors upstairs that were really loud, and he wanted to go up there to tell the neighbors to keep it down. But he said that the only reason why he took Andrew with him was because Andrew was black. And he felt like if the neighbors saw a black person, they would be more scared than if it was just him, a white person. Isn't that a racist comment though?
God. Yes, it is.
To me, that's racist. And then he asked me if I could go, and I was like, why? He was like, oh, because maybe if they see a black person, then they'd be more afraid.
Yes.
And then they would actually stop making noise. I was like, no, you're racist.
Yeah.
And you can kiss my black ass. Not only was he racist, he was homophobic. So he would say
Hold
things.
on. With a loose vowel, you homophobic?
So, he
Then-
would say things like he was how do I say it? Like stereotypes, like you know, people say gay people are into fashion and like certain things he would say, and he would be like, "Well, shouldn't you know that? Like, don't you people know that?" Like he would say stuff like that,
Yeah.
like
that's
referring
what
to like gay people, like
Oh, black.
basically saying it's stuff that you people should
Yeah.
know because you're no
Because one time they call it like they call it urban.
urban.
Yeah. That's the way we dress. This is considered urban. Urban wear.
He wanted me to refurnish the living room. So buy a couch and a TV stand and
I
whatever.
understand that, but who can touch the stuff together?
But you don't have no money. You don't have no money. So I mean,
Money, your money.
and where am I going to use it? Why would I buy stuff I can't even use?
Okay. For you to put your dog part on it again.
Okay, hell to the no.
Mm.
Hell no. So this is where it gets exciting. This is where it gets exciting, Michael. Because I decided, like, I felt so trapped in this place, y'all have no idea. I felt trapped because I was like, I just moved here. I already want to move out. But, you know, like when you move someplace, they want to know, like, so who was your previous landlord? How long were you there? I can't say I was there for like 2 months. They'd be like, what? Like, what do you mean 2 months? Like, what's wrong with you? So, and then, you know, you have to save a lot of money to move. And, you know, it was just a lot.
Good credit.
So, it got to the point where I was like, okay, you know, I have the money and it's been long enough. So, it's time for me to move. But I didn't want to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was such a bad person,
Nice.
I wanted to screw him over.
Oh. Who did what now?
So I found a place, paid for the first and last month's rent or whatever, all that stuff, without him even knowing. And I found a place like over a month in advance of me moving. So I was moving July 1st, and I found a place like in May, like the end of May.
There's no rest for the wicked.
So if he was a good person, I would have told him.
Yeah.
But he was not a good person. He was not like, you know, he just wasn't. No. So I didn't feel bad at all. So let me tell you the story about how I moved, and he didn't know. So
Who's that? That's not mine. It's yours. Oh, it's mine? Pedro and I doing a show. Stupid dog.
answer the phone.
Because Pedro's calling us. Why Pedro calling us? He's not on the show.
Oh, sweetie, I just wanted to speak to Barry. Sweetie, I want to speak to sweetie.
But we are at the show though, but go on.
Michael? Hold on, let me get it straight. You're recording now, but you want to pull me?
Yes,
Yeah.
bitch.
You want from me? Goodbye.
Like disrespectful bitches.
So, okay, let me tell you how I was moving. So, all this time I knew I was moving, right? But I didn't say anything. So, it came time to move. And I was like, okay, how am I going to do this without him finding out? So, I waited until the last day. Like, I waited until basically like midnight after work, because I got off work late. So, I waited until midnight. I rented a van, like a moving van.
I can't do this.
And so we went to the place, you know, and I'm like moving stuff or whatever. No, so before that, so I opened the door because I feel like he had an idea that we were moving, right? Because he asked me, he was like, are you moving? Like he asked me like a week before. I was like, really? I said, why would I do that? I said, first of all, I can't even afford to move, so no, I'm not moving. So I feel like he had an idea. So he asked his mom to come.
Mom.
So when I opened the door that night to like start moving stuff, I see this woman laying there on the pull-out couch, right? And so I knew it was his mom. Like I just knew it was her, cause like who else would it be? So we're moving stuff, and then she wakes up and she was like, "Oh, I'm going on a trip." I was like, "No." She was like saying stuff, and she was like, "Oh, because the timing of it all." I was like, and like I don't understand. Are you going somewhere with this conversation? So she was like, because it's July 1st. I was like, I'm aware. Like, I know it's July 1st.
That's good, man.
So, she was like, so I wonder if Vic knows what's going on. I was like, I had a conversation with Vic already, so he's aware of what's happening. So moving stuff. So basically, she pissed me off so much. I was like, you know what? Let's just wait until tomorrow to finish move the rest of the stuff. Next day came or whatever. Here's the gag.
The gag is.
He doesn't work, so he doesn't have a life, right? So the 1 or 2 times that he goes out, he closes his room door, and he has like only 1 pair of shoes. So you look out and you don't see the pair of shoes. That means he's gone, right?
Yeah,
So I look out, I don't see the pair of shoes, his room door is closed. I'm like, okay, Vic, Vic went out. This is the perfect time to, move stuff. All the while he was in his room, pretending to be out so that he could listen to see what was going on. That son of a bitch.
Oh, Jewish.
So hear me now, all excited, moving stuff. No, I'm not even trying to be quiet, banging the wall and thing, moving shit, trying to get out. My heart racing. I already fought, so I felt like I was gonna die. So,
Still dying,
stuff,
bro.
right? So, get down to like the last few stuff, right? So I'm walking back. Damn, I'm all sweaty. I'm walking back to the door. I see him looking out the door. I was like, yes. So he was like, oh, are you doing something? I was like, yes. So, then I came inside and he was like, do you want me to lock the door? I said, no, I'm still moving some stuff out. I'm doing something, so you can leave it open. When I'm done, I'll lock the door. That's one of the things that my mom taught me how to do. So, finished, was almost done. So, the last things that I had to get was the bicycle, Bailey, and Temperley. That was the last 3 stuff.
Hold on.
So, first of all, like my bed, microwave, like mattress, all that stuff I left because I'm like, you know what? My room was clean, but I don't trust it. Like, like a little bug might have creeped in and I don't see it. I was like, you know what? No. I threw away like most of my clothes because I'm like, I just don't, I don't want to bring too much of this stuff with me, like from this place.
Closeness?
I threw away most of my clothes.
Closest now?
I still have clothes, but I threw away like most of them. I gave them away.
The who? Who's
The
gonna
people who
invest?
need it.
Oh, I'm gonna invest the clothes.
There was not infested, but I didn't know. I don't know.
Well, now you know.
I don't know. I don't know.
What was in your shirt? You get.
This about to be in my shirt. So the room door, like I said, every time I go out, the room door, it gets closed, right? So went to put the last bit of stuff down in the moving van, came back up, room door open. And he's sitting on the couch like this. All sad and
Isn't that
whatever.
Jewish?
So, okay? I was like, so the whole time I had him thinking that I was getting new furniture from IKEA.
Hang on, let me this.
So I asked him, I was like, oh, by the way, did IKEA come here or did anyone come to the door? He was like,
They sponsored by IKEA.
so he just shook his head, no, right? So the room door was open. What does that mean? That means he went in there
Yeah.
thinking, like trying to see what was going on.
Jewish.
So I guess when he saw like all the clothes were gone and like most of the TV was gone, everything, he probably was like, okay, I know what's going on. So at that point, like I just didn't care. So I grabbed Temperley over here, I grabbed Bailey over here. Bailey does not like to be picked up. So I was like, hey, just don't care. And the Rio was like, oh, I have to get my bike. I was like, this is me. I was like, get the bike. So grabbed the bike and listen, ran out of there. I was like running for my life. Running for my life. I never felt so free. But I was driving. I never been to prison. I mean, I know you have. But that feeling like, that feeling like when you get out of prison and like you see the light for the first time.
I smell every day.
Mel, I feel you, Mel. I know how it feels. I was like, wow. I was like, I never noticed the trees. I was like, look at the trees. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, directions. I didn't know where to go.
You can live again.
Everything looked so bright. I was like, wow.
Okay, bro.
I was like, wow, it's a new day. But guess what? We moved out, basically screwing him over. I never signed a lease or anything, so I was not liable for any rent. And he got his last month's rent, which we lived out. So technically, that was that. I went on Kijiji a week later. The same ad that he posted, that I replied to almost a year ago, he posted the same ad again to try to get someone else to rent. But this time, he said, oh, the room is furnished. It has a new bed. My stuff. It has a bed. It has a microwave. It has this. So I created an ad as a warning. I screenshot his ad and I posted my own ad that said, warning. Do not rent from this guy. And in the ad, he was like, I'm a clean person. You can ask my family members. I was like, first of all,
I'm gonna family.
you know, I'm no family. So what we're not gonna do is that. So they basically told me like, I can't post an ad like that or whatever, but they will look into it.
Please.
So I don't know what they did, but we drove by the apartment like a couple days later, and the bed was outside by the garbage, and he threw the stuff out. He was like, fuck this, like no. I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, he threw all that shit outside.
Wow.
So I don't know what's going on now. I don't know if the ad is back up. I don't know.
We'll check after this.
I still have the keys to the apartment. So I might pop up in. Why are you looking at my belly? You shady bitch.
I look at. I like when the Cardi B is going on.
I might roll up.
Say pop up, man.
I might roll up.
I think about I'm impressed.
So that's my horror story, which kind of turned into a funny story. But yeah, trust me, you have to be so careful, especially you now. How you looking for a roommate? You have to be so careful who you live with, especially if it's someone you don't know, because you don't know someone until you live with them. So be very, 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 very careful. Very careful. And don't choose a place out of desperation. Like really think about what you're doing, because you will regret it. And you don't want to end up in a situation like I was in. So like someone said on part 1, they would rather be homeless than to live in a place like that. Yeah, someone said that.
Well, that mean you?
No, someone said they'd rather be homeless than live there, and I agree. So yeah, that, I have to belch.
Sorry, this is my trash.
That does it for part 2 of my roommate horror story. I would like to thank LL Cool J for joining.
Thank you so much. The pleasure.
So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, if you found this video interesting, then leave a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe.
Okay, bye.
Bye.